It all started quietly, almost by accident. I've been meaning to do a meaningful video on this topic because I believe most people who tackle this topic miss the meaning behind it. I see both the physical and spiritual aspects of this issue, the effects it's caused on us men, and the impact it's now having on today's young adults. When I was a teenager, the world was coming into the technology age, but not like it is now. We still had to rent videos, and there were still adult video stores all around. By the time I was about to graduate high school, porn had already infuriated the minds of high school kids. We passed it around during computer class, and it was something a naive kid like myself would laugh at, not realizing the sad impact it would have on my life. By the time I was out of high school, I was working my first job. That's when porn became very popular online, and guys at that age all partook in the same kind of explicit videos and websites. One of the big names back in the early 2000s was Bang Bros. I'm sure if you're a millennial you know exactly who they are. My generation, from what I observed, had lots of freedom. I saw most of my guy friends' parents just throw condoms at their sons, and girls were on birth control. The early 20s at that time were about bragging about how many women you could get in bed, what freaky things you could do, and I listened with envy in my heart. While consuming these websites back in the days like Bang Bros, I remember in the early days of YouTube, some guys did a parody of one Bang Bros site called Bang Bus. Bang Bus back then was a series where a bus would pick up random attractive women, and they would have bang in the bus. Then they would get the girl out of the bus somehow, and drive away. What this was doing, and what I didn't understand, was training men to think of women as nothing more than objects. But when you are young, the thrill and excitement override logic. It wasn't until a decade later that the guy who was in the majority of videos did and realized porn destroyed him in many ways and left an emptiness. He's not married, has no girlfriend. I recently saw a picture with him by himself on a boat, captioned saying how alone he felt, sad or depressed, after being with thousands of women. Most of those women, some of the guys who watched them growing up, are probably the mothers or grandmothers of your children now. And that leads me to the impact porn has on a generation. It's not just the people watching or the people who make it, and those that push it. The hundreds of thousands of women who appear in it grow up. They have families, and do they turn around and condemn it? Some do, but most don't. So what happens when they have children and they become curious? Will they be hypocritical and deny their children? The obvious answer is most women will become jaded, resentful of men, bitter, and settle for no one recognizing them. They would advocate for a less judgmental world, and they would advocate for women to have the right to be sex workers. That in turn impacts society and the culture of America. Sin is a cancer, and when the cancer spreads, it spreads. People became lax and gave birth to hookup culture, and my generation was having lots and lots of hookups. Then another series came out called Monsters of Cock. If you've seen this man's face before, then you know who he is. If you don't know, he was the face of this series. I also guarantee this man has been with most of your wives or girlfriends in the past if you live on the East Coast of America, especially Florida. He is known for his third leg, and women going to the extreme to try this guy out. I know what most of you guys think, he's not attractive. Again, this goes to the notion that when Americans will sacrifice their values for money, then we have lost a generation. And my generation was told we can buy anything, including dignity, for money, and this was just a small fraction of the early 2000s porn impact on my generation. So what's left? The aftermath. As a Christian walking closer to God, I saw what porn did to me and my generation. It's no wonder my generation failed to have children or form healthy relationships. Broken homes are the majority of America now. You can't live in sexual hedonism and then turn around and be good parents or partners. Life doesn't work that way. When did people hit the wall? When did they do some self-reflection and turn away from that kind of behavior? Now we live in the age of the consequences.